Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Max Girardo and I'm one of three co-founders and directors of the Visionaries, which is a social enterprise founded in 2020. We're based in East London and fundamentally we exist to tackle two interconnected crises: the crisis in adolescent mental health and the growing climate emergency we're facing. So we know there's a climate and ecological emergency. It's caused by colonialist and industrial story of endless growth, extraction, and by linear, mechanistic, short-term thinking. This way of thinking harms nature, and it also results in human oppression through racial and social injustices. However, we can address these issues by promoting diversity, regeneration, circular and long-term thinking, and by seeing our social systems as part of living ecosystems. We believe we can do this most powerfully through education. And we're also seeing a crisis in adolescent mental health. The young people we work with, mostly from marginalised communities across London and the UK, are feeling this most acutely. A quarter of adolescents in the UK say they're unable to cope with life. Child and adolescent mental health services have 2-year waiting lists, and suicide rates in adolescents are at an all-time high. Whistleblowing from organisations like Everyone's Invited show that racism, bullying and rape culture are still far too often the norm in schools. So if it takes a village to raise a child, then I believe we should be a bit concerned, because we don't have to look too far to see that our village is not well. Our industrial education system feeds as much as addresses these crises, and as the soil in which young people and young seeds grow, it has to provide the fertile conditions for youth and adults to thrive. Our mission at the Visionaries is simple: to put relationships at the heart of education so we can create a healthy future together. We create spaces for educators and marginalised young people, like Leah in this photo, to feel safe enough to take risks, to connect with nature, to feel belonging in community, and to connect with a deeper sense of meaning and purpose in their life. We help schools and youth organisations to become that nurturing village a young person needs to grow. We help them to learn key life skills, such as how to navigate conflict, how to appreciate and really see one another, so that each person feels less alone in their struggles, how to embrace uncertainty and learn to grow through the inevitable losses that we all face, how to learn to think systemically and see nature as our ally. So we have a few different ways that we make this happen. We take groups of educators, that's school leaders, teachers, youth workers, psychologists, for example, deep into nature and into themselves to help grow a community of practitioners that are working together to regenerate our education systems. So Fika in the photo is one example. She came with 15 of her colleagues on a school leadership retreat to the Lake District, where they lived off-grid, practiced courageous dialogue, explored their relationship with the natural world, and learned to navigate conflict between colleagues. Fika has since used this experience to develop her vision for education and embed practices in her school that genuinely support the students and staff to flourish. We also deliver a 4-part regenerative educator training course at our school in Stratford, training leaders of schools and youth organisations in restorative practices that they then go on to implement in their settings, such as the art of conflict mediation, how to have talking circles on sensitive issues, and taking a whole systems approach to well-being. We're also actively training and connecting cohorts of diverse young leaders through our Council of Young Visionaries, our youth leadership retreats, and school camps. These experiences equip them to grow in confidence, develop community, and develop a deeper motivation to lead, thus diversifying who has a say in the kind of future we're building. So I wanted to introduce you quickly to Praise, who we worked with last year through his school in London. He's going to share a little bit quickly about his experience with us.
Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Praise. Last time I had the opportunity to go to the village with my school. This was like a 4-day camp near Reading, about 50 of my peers. At first, it was daunting to be away from the home. We constantly faced new challenges, and we had to do different things for the first time, such as putting up a tent. which gave me opportunities to get out of my comfort zone. During my time at the village, I strengthened the existing relationships that I had with my friends and teachers, and I connected with people that I normally wouldn't interact with. Through communal cooking, stories by the campfire, mask making, and time in nature, I built feelings of trust and a sense of community, and I grew in confidence. Being out in nature, away from the stress of school, social media, and technology, I noticed a significant improvement in my mental health and self esteem. We had many sessions of meditations, which gave me a space for introspection and self evaluation. 1 year on from this camp, I still apply the lessons that I learned to my daily life. I've learned to appreciate nature and to be more conscious of the environment. I've learned to be more outgoing, self confident, and to stand out of my comfort zone, to try out new things. This is why you must fund the Visionaries to help extend these opportunities to more members of the society. Thank you.
Thanks, Praise. Nice to hear your words. So to date, we've worked with about 450 young people and 100 educators. We know we provide real value as budget-constrained schools and youth organisations continue to invest in our services. Following training with us, educational leaders repeatedly ask us to come in and help them adopt and embed more regenerative practices in their settings. For example, after our Talking Circles training, the deputy head teacher at School 21 brought us in to help students and staff create spaces where they can really talk about racism, mental health, and cultural issues in their school. But we need your help to unlock our next stage of growth. £10,000 would allow us to hire a young person from our network of young leaders, giving an emerging voice from underrepresented groups that we serve a vital platform to build a career in environmental education. This person will diversify our team and ensure that we have the capacity to grow trading income through our workshops, leadership retreats, and trainings. If we're lucky and raise a further 5K, that would fund 10 bursaries for marginalised young leaders to access our leadership camps this summer, giving them a vital developmental opportunity. Over the next few years, we really want to scale nationwide, and we plan to work with landowners across the country to create spaces that model how we can create that nurturing and sustainable village that young people and our planet so desperately need. Thanks for listening, and thanks for your support.